Hey, welcome everybody to Understanding Color, a visual guide, and we're going to go through this presentation together. So what is color? All right, it is just a phenomenon of light. We just happen to see it at different wavelengths, which gives us just like a visual way of seeing things. So what's some basic theory? Okay, what we're going to look at is first is primary colors. So the primary colors you can see is like this bluish color, this reddish, and this yellow. So almost all colors are derived from these three. Secondary colors is what occurs when we mix the primary one. So if you see here, if we mix the red and blue, we'll get this pretty purple right here. Okay? If we keep on scrolling down, you'll see that there are different kinds of color combinations. Here's a couple I want you to pay attention to. Monochromatic colors describe shades, tints, and tones basically of the same hue, or another word is the same color. So we have different variations of red here in this example. Another one I want you to see is complementary, and it just means colors that are exactly opposite of each other on the color wheel. Okay, red, oranges, and yellows are considered warm colors when it comes time to know that. And then greens, blues, violets are cool colors. Beautiful, wonderful. While grays, browns, and beiges don't appear on color wheels, they form a basis of neutral color. So that means they'll go with anything. So this is a lot of times while you'll see shoes, belts, and bags that are neutral colors because they will go with most of your outfits. Okay, so what you just need to know is the traditional color wheel is mostly red, yellow, blue, or RGB sometimes, okay? We'll see red, green, blue right here, which means this is all the ways that color is displayed when it's on a screen. So like the way you're seeing colors now is based off these three colors or a variation of them. Sometimes you'll see hex colors, and this is especially done in web design. So you can tell a web designer, my lavender that I want is B0AACF, and then you can enter that into Photoshop and get that exact color of lavender if you wish to have it. CMYK is what we use for print process. So where it says photomechanical, it just means when it comes from a printer, it's going to use this. And it's cyan, which is a blue, magenta, which is a pink red, and yellow. And then they also add in key or black, so it can make it a darker variation if needed. Okay, we're going to skip over PMS colors right now. And I'm going to take you down to here to look at saturation and desaturation. So a saturated color talks about how vivid it is. So this yellow right here in the center is very, very saturated, but a desaturated variation of it is in this lighter tint over here. Something else you're going to want to know. All right, thank you for stepping through these with me. Now I want you to open up this Bride of Frank color exercise we have in Photoshop. So what you'll see is I have a series of artboards, and you will see that I have put at the top how I want you to color this photo of the Bride of Frankenstein. Isn't she extra lovely today? So I'm going to show you how we can pick different colors. There's a couple ways. One, there's a foreground and the background color. Foreground just means whichever of these two colors is on top. Double click and it brings up this color picker. You can move this up and down to switch between the colors, okay? We talked about the hex being the 6-digit code. Here's where you can enter it in. There's RGB and there's CMYK as well, okay? So here's where you can pick your different colors. That's one way of doing it, okay? Another way is you can come up here to the color panel, and if you don't see it, go to Window and go to Color, and you can pull it up, and you can once again pull through here, okay? Another way you can look at color is by these swatches, and you can pull up a lot of predetermined colors that they have for you right now. So already here's some pastels that you can do, pure, darker, pale, so it gives you a variety as well. If there's a color that you want, let's open up, let's see, let's do a cat. Okay, so let's look for images. And let's say I really liked this image or this color of a cat. I can copy an image and I can bring it into Photoshop here. Okay, there it is. I can then double click on my foreground color and it gives me the color picker, and I can pick color that way as well. Okay, so lots of different ways for you to pick a color. So this is your assignment that's on Cool Colors. Okay, I'm going to delete it. Every single one of these you're going to color by its description. So it says Cool Colors, so I'm going to go over to the artboard called Cool Colors. I'm going to toggle it down and you'll see where it says color. So what you're going to do is, it says Cool Colors. I'm going to pick a cool color, which blue is about as cool as you can get. And I'm going to grab the brush tool, which is over here to my left. I'm going to come up to the top here, and I'm going to make sure that I chose general brushes and I chose a soft round. You can pick 400 to start, but you can change the size by sliding this. Okay, you can also hit your bracket bars, which are located under your plus equal sign on your keyboard, and you can change the size of it as well. Okay, that's 400. There we go. And I'm going to hit my bracket bars. And there we are changing the size. Now, I want you to use at least 5 colors on each of these, okay? So I'm going to do the background one color. Okay, I'm gonna make a smaller brush as I get in a little bit closer. And the reason why we can see through this, and it doesn't have to be perfect, we're just looking at colors right now, is I have the blending mode set to multiply. So this is a great way to paint and add color to your images in Photoshop if you wish. Okay, okay, there's one color. I'm gonna pick another cool color. Okay, 2, 3, okay, let's do 4, and let's do 5. Let's give her a dark lip. Down the sides with the bracket keys. Okay, and I'm even going to give her a little bit of purple eyes. Okay, there's my 5 different colors. If you want to do perfect coloring, if that is just something that you want to do, you can of course use your selection. And what I mean by using your selection is you can, let's see, select subject. Whoops, this one is select subject. Okay, so that means if my subject's selected and then I go up to color and I paint her here. Ooh, I'm gonna make her lighter so you guys can see the difference here. Okay, let's make it bigger. The selection tool keeps my color within there. So that's a good reason to use the selection tools with those colors. Okay, so for each of these, you're going to do cool colors. On this one, you're just going to do warm colors, and so forth and so on. Then on this very last one, you're going to do artist choice, and you get to paint her however you want. But once again, at least 5 colors that you're going to use on all of these to show me. If you don't remember what these words mean, go back to the presentation in that website, and you can see how those are defined. You're only going to save the PSD and sign and give this to me, so that way I only have 1 file per student. I have 108 students this year, so if I had 108 times how many this is, that would be a lot of files to look at. I only want to look at 1 file, turn 1 PSD per student. All right, thank you. Good